Ladies and gentlemen, we are living in an amazing time for fighting games, specifically the age of arguably the three biggest and most recognizable fighting games, Street Fighter, Tekken, and Mortal Kombat. Each of them coming from humble beginnings, each starting off in arcades in the late 90s, Street Fighter in 1987, Mortal Kombat in 1992, and Tekken in 1994, garnering immense popularity, and it's easy to see why. Tekken stands out among the three, being the only 3D fighter. Around the time the second game came out, there was no stopping this series, as it became the most immersive game of its genre so early, really honing in on its unique fighting style. With Street Fighter, it was simply the lush and colorful designs of the game itself and cool characters, and it was really simple to play. Funnily enough, it was also the second game that cemented Street Fighter as a fighting game juggernaut. And with Mortal Kombat, do I even have to say why Mortal Kombat became so popular?
Finish him!
These three have definitely stood the test of time, with Tekken having 11 titles with 8 main entries, Mortal Kombat having over 24 titles with 13 main entries, and Street Fighter has 6 main entries with over 80 games. And these games remain as popular as ever, as we got a brand new Street Fighter, Mortal Kombat, and Tekken all in the span of within a year. Here's what co-creator of Mortal Kombat, Ed Boon, had to say on the matter.
To me, it's like, the planets circling the sun. Like every once in a while, they just line up, right? Like I don't think I ever can remember a major entry from Mortal Kombat, Street Fighter, and Tekken all within this window, right?
Oh, maybe you don't, Mr. Boon. And I admit I kinda didn't either. But I did the math, literally taking every mainline Street Fighter, Mortal Kombat, and Tekken game and adding up the release windows between them until one matched. Street Fighter 6 released in June of 2023, followed by Mortal Kombat 1 exactly 3 months after, in September 2023, and most recently, Tekken 8 exactly 4 months after MK1, meaning all of these games released within a 7-month span. So I started doing the math and making connections, and I was honestly shocked at the results. After about 30 minutes of research and a dash of my own calculus skills, I found that Street Fighter 3 released in February 1997, followed by Tekken 3 a month later in March 1997, and Mortal Kombat 4 released in September of 1997, all within the same year in a 7-month span. Which means it's been over 20 years since the planets have aligned to give us this holy trinity of fighting games back to back once again. I've prayed to the elder gods for days like this. I've devoted several hours into each of these games, and I'll talk about them in order of release, starting with Street Fighter 6. Street Fighter 6 excels at what it's been doing for over 30 years now. Hard-hitting action. This iteration is very easy to pick up, all of our returning characters are recognizable, and the new fighters look so cool that new and returning players will want to pick them up. The World Tour mode really changes the game, allowing us to challenge fighters from all over the globe in typical Street Fighter fashion, and even being able to train with series staples like Chun-Li and E Honda. It's definitely the most colorful of the three. While Street Fighter has always been vibrant, it takes it to the next level with the over-the-top paint-style special moves and the game's theme this time around. Mortal Kombat, despite the name, is the 12th main entry in the Mortal Kombat series, and this game does not disappoint, depending on who you ask. Despite having a lack of content that's been in past games for years, Mortal Kombat 1 still excels in its gameplay, which was one of the biggest gripes of its predecessor. This new timeline offers us new stories and relationships and origins for our characters, and even gives us the return of some long-awaited 3D era fighters. Now, I actually don't want to dwell on MK1 because I'm actually making another video about it in the background, and it'll probably be my longest and biggest video to date. So if you want to hear my true thoughts with full breakdown of this game, leave a like on this video and be on the lookout. It's going to come out either way, but still, you should definitely like the video and tell me how excited you are about that future Mortal Kombat video. Alright, anyway, I pray for this game's future, as it seems to be in a weird state, but I'm certain Mortal Kombat will always bounce back. I think I'm most excited to talk about Tekken 8 because it's the first one I've ever owned. I was always peculiar about 3D fighting games. The only one I really played was Dead or Alive, and I thought it was fun, but it wasn't something I wanted to put a whole bunch of hours into. I was perfectly content with not getting Tekken either until I attended a video game bar where it was literally up on every single screen, so I had no choice. I fell in love with the game and got it the following week. I've been busying myself with the arcade quest mode, training with new characters, and leveling up with my friends online. I can't speak much on the story as I'm still playing through it, but the stuff I've seen has been really crazy, just super intense. This is hands down the most Japanese game I've ever played in my life. I, for one, am grateful to be living in a time where these games' current iterations all exist concurrently alongside each other, with fighting game fans bouncing between them, like me. I wasn't alive when these games first were made, so I was too young to play or care about what they were, but man is it the best time to be a fighting game fan. Which one is you guys' favorite? Let me know down in the comments below, because right now, it's definitely all three of them. And until my next video, I'll talk to you guys in the next one. Peace!